having special guests in the building to give us valuable feedback. So, Crucible recap. Last week, we postponed Iron Banner while we worked out an issue. Let me turn this off here. All right. Last week, we postponed Iron Banner while we worked out an issue. In its place, we rolled out a 6-player version of Rumble based on player feedback. Here's PvP design lead Derek Carroll with more info on the state of combat between Guardians. Derek, how did 6-player Rumble treat you? We hear your comments and took actions when the 8-player version got too big for its cage, and we hope our work paid off. There are additional map-specific spawning fixes that will be present in the next update, so keep the feedback coming. By the time you read this, Iron Banner will be well underway. As with everything we do in the Crucible, the true test is when players experience it out in the wild. Once you've felt how it plays, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Meet me here in a week or so. As you may have read last week, we are changing the way the Crucible playlists work with Season 3, when Season 3 launches alongside the new expansion Warmind. Beginning on May 8th, all Destiny 2 players will be able to compete on any of the Crucible maps we put in our match-made playlist. Platform-timed exclusive content will still be limited to that platform, but everything else is fair game. Yo, Dunkman Mark, thank you for the huge host, man. I really appreciate that. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for joining us. We're just talking about the TWAB. Yesterday, Bungie released the new weekly update, and we're just going over that, but thank you and welcome. I really appreciate that. Dunkman, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so a few things there. Obviously, there's been a lot of conversation about 6-player Rumble. I really like 6-player Rumble. I prefer it over what we had 2 weeks ago. The 8-player Rumble felt too chaotic, too weird. And I really did enjoy the 6-player Rumble much more. I do realize, though, that it feels a little bit too slow. So there may be a combination of the two. If they could fix the spawns, slow down the spawns, 8-player might be the right amount. 6-player, though, it felt much better than 8-player did. Welcome, Raiders. Thank you so much for hanging out. Iron Banner, obviously, is underway. I think it's gotten a pretty overwhelmingly positive review. Solo players definitely not happy with the fact that they're still going up against teams. But I think overwhelmingly, Iron Banner has been a success. Team that up with, hopefully, faster time to kill exotics coming on May 8th. And we're really talking, I feel like. We're starting to get toward the Destiny that we've been asking for. They have been doing the weapon showcasing. If anybody sees a new one of these posted today, make sure you let me know. I don't know if they'll be too active on Twitter. They're probably a lot more focused on the people that are actually at the studio right now rather than, social media. But I'm a solo player and I'm happy. Nice. 6v6 is a mixed bag. Power economy is my only problem. Power economy, I don't see them fixing really until they get back to until September at this point, when they redo the weapon system. They may adjust it. Like, I could see them potentially leaving the power spawns the way it is, but getting rid of the fact that you drop power ammo when you get killed with it. Maybe. Yo, Dunk, thank you so much. Have an awesome lunch, man. 6v6 is the shit. Hopefully it becomes permanent. I agree, man. I've been enjoying it too. A few weeks ago, we gave you a preview of upcoming changes to Sturm and Drang. Telling you what changes are coming is important, but the old saying holds true. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Back in February, we told you a few things we had planned for the Graviton Lance. Earlier this week, we showed you off these changes. So this is a video of 2 people shooting Graviton Lances at enemies, and you can see that quite a large area of effect. And it almost looks like Warlock tracking grenades, doesn't it? That come out, and then they explode. Well, the only video we teased out this week, we also got a glimpse of what Skyburner's Oath will be capable of in Season 3. Now that we have shown you, here's senior designer John Wisniewski to tell you more about what is changing about those weapons, and another you haven't seen yet. Axion bolts. Yeah. Doesn't it look like those? All right, so John Wyszynski says, hello. For some bizarre reason, Cosmo asked me to come back here and waste some more space on the TWAB. So here I am, bloating the internet tubes with more bits and gigawatts. What does that mean for you? Another update on the exotic weapon tuning headed your way this May. Today, we'll talk about two guns, Skyburner's Oath and the Rat King. A while back, I talked about Graviton Lance and how one of the main areas to improve was the lack of utility within a pretty successful show of spectacle. Skyburner's Oath was almost has the opposite almost has the opposite problem. It's a comparatively strong weapon, effective at multiple ranges, strong in ADS from the hip, with varying fire rates. However, it lacks spectacle to give it that exotic feeling. It kind of plays just like any other gun. To address this, we started with giving the projectiles explosive rounds as their default impact response. In ADS, the weapon will perform the same. Full auto, slow firing, high impact. When firing from the hip, Skyburner's Oath now lobs slower projectiles at a faster rate of fire that tracks targets, and explodes. The tracking functionality tends to draw projectiles to center mass rather than precision regions, so we reduce the precision scalar a bit and increase damage to the body. Precision hits still do bonus damage, and overall DPS is increased. The end result is a dual utility weapon that fires hit scan, high damage projectiles, while aiming down sights and rapid fire lobbed exploding tracking projectiles from its hip. It almost feels like a rapid-fire grenade launcher that can transition between a precision death dealers with the press of a button. Here's it in action. I think this gun is going to be interesting. It's smart to show it off on a Warlock too, I feel, because the utility of it seems to be, yeah, you have a precision shot. That's not how scalar is spent. You have a precision weapon, right, for long distances, but when stuff gets close range, you're going to start spamming the thing from the hip. And it's going to become like a much more chaotic, close-range kind of spam weapon. It looks fun. Still looks a little weak. It doesn't look super powerful, but we'll have to try. We'll have to try it out. Skyburner's Oath is doo-doo right now. Next up is the Rat King, which already has something of a fan base, but definitely has room to improve. Of the stats that improve with more fire team members running Rat King, the strongest is probably the increased fire rate. Unfortunately, the DPS potential is hard to realize because some people just can't physically pull the trigger fast enough to cash in on this benefit or don't know to try. To make sure this is both felt and used, we made Rat King full auto to ensure the rate of fire increase can make a difference when running in a pack. Another pain point was the restriction of having Rat Pack only activate when allies have Rat Kings equipped in hand felt a bit too situational. Rat Pack perk now triggers when Fireteam members have Rat King slotted as their kinetic weapons stowed or in hand. We also front-loaded the stat benefits of Rat King so they increase a bit more drastically with 1 or 2 Fireteam members and up the base invisibility timer of Vermin to 7 seconds. 7 seconds, that's a long time. Last but not least, and not to overly tease, but why not, I'm going to tease, the Masterwork upgrade for Rat King is going to put a tasty garnish on this meal and you won't want to miss out on. Interesting. So, I find it interesting that they made it full auto. I don't know how to react to that because there are a lot of players who are asking for more of a skill ceiling. Making it full auto may, reduce that skill ceiling, but to be honest with you, I'm probably one of those players they're talking about that can't pull that trigger fast enough, so I'll benefit from it. I like that, the Rat King is going to be easier to use with your group. Less people have to use it to get bigger benefits from it. Exotic Masterwork, though. The Masterwork upgrade for Rat King is going to put a tasty garnish on this meal you won't want to miss out on. Interesting. Could Masterwork upgrades be exotic specific? unlike what they are for legendaries, where they're kind of all the same, right? The Masterworks give you a couple of benefits on legendary weapons. They give you obviously the kill counter. Oh. They give you the kill counter, and they give you a small buff to one of the stats, handling or reload or something like that. I want to see the sweet business. Rat poison like Thorn. I mean, something's going to happen, right? The Masterwork upgrade for the Rat King is going to put a tasty garnish on this meal. A tasty garnish. Could tasty garnish mean something? What would tasty garnish mean? I think that's pretty interesting. Masterwork could be a game changer, theoretically. I mean, I like that. So let's take a look at this thing. So they got Rat Pack times 5. They got 6 people in a fire team, all using Rat Pack. It does fire fast, man. I don't see anything happening over here that would allude to it being a Masterwork. Do you think Masterwork exotics could be... They could have like a new weapon ornament that's only available if you have the Masterwork version? I don't know. I mean, those guys got wrecked, though. Tasty Garnish equals new sidearm that works in conjunction with the Rat King. So you'd run double sidearms. I mean, the biggest thing is that the Stowed Rat King also contribute to the buff. That is huge, right? It's never a waste of space to have New stop by to share that weapon changes he's currently working on. Maybe we can convince him to come back next week to tell us about some more exotics we're buffing up for Season 3. What do you guys think about this? Kind of sharing these changes they're making before they come out. I think it's pretty good. I don't want them to show us new exotics, but I don't mind them showing off what's changing about the exotics we have. Like, I feel like it's a good combination of building hype, but also not revealing too much. That'd be pretty nutty in a group for PvE for sure, right? Looks like fun. Imagine explosive rounds with that fire rate. That'd be good. The communication is good. Love it. It's great. Showing the changes is great. Creates some hype. Yeah, I'd hate for them to go back to the way of, showing off all the new exotics on Instagram. I feel like this is really cool, though. Showing it now or reading about it, them in patch notes. True enough. True enough. I don't want to see the new exotics either. No, I don't like seeing the new exotics before they're released. Like, that's part of the fun, right? When you get a new DLC, what are the new exotics going to be? That should be a tightly held secret, in my opinion. Hopefully new exotics have the same thought put into them as the old ones. Yeah, yeah. All right, power climb. This is huge, and this is a lot of words, so this is going to take a while. We've received a lot of feedback on rewards, power, and how you want your actions to be more meaningful in determining how your character performs in the world of Destiny 2. Yo, thank you, King of Grey, for the 200 bits, man. That's very nice of you. We're planning some adjustments based on this feedback, and senior designer Daniel Akinpaw, I'm going to go with Akinpaw, is here to give you the details. Daniel, last time I was here, I talked about our adjustments to the raid rewards. This time, I want to talk about some more broad changes we're making to the reward structure of Destiny 2. One of the things we did when Destiny 2 launched was make the climb to the power cap fast and easy for everybody. It didn't matter who you were or what your playstyle was, the road to the cap was quick and accessible for everyone. The result was that achieving the cap felt less satisfying. It was easy, and there weren't any activities that dared to require it. Even the raid, going into the raid, we all grinded to get into that raid as high light level as possible. You could have been 20 light levels under cap or more. You could have been 30 light levels under cap and not had a problem in the raid. Honestly, it was crazy. We never had a raid that was so easy as that, as far as light levels go. With the release of Destiny 2 Expansion 2 Warmind, we're making some changes to the size and frequency of upgrades. These changes will apply to all of Destiny 2, not just the Warmind endgame content. Our goal with this change are to bring back meaning and accomplishment to achieving the power cap, to give players a sense of progression when they come back to play each week, and to reward players who engage in a broader scope of the Destiny 2 endgame content. We've made an effort to de-emphasize grinding public events for exotics and to reduce the impact of clan engrams on endgame progression. Interesting. I like that there's less of an emphasis on grinding public events because, frankly, that's boring. It's one small part of what Destiny 2 is. And the fact that leveling up, it's so clearly the fastest way to level up, means that it's obviously the thing you should be grinding, and it's just not that interesting long term. Before we get into specifics, I want to define a couple terms so we're on common ground. Soft cap is the point you can climb to easily via drops from any source. The hard cap is the power level you can obtain from weekly reward sources. The soft cap for Warmind is 340 and the hard cap is 380. 40 levels between soft and hard. These numbers don't consider any +5 mods. Remember that all drops are calculated using your best possible power regardless of if you have the gear equipped or not. It can even be in the vault or on another character. So you don't have to, like, for instance, when you're turning in, when you're going to collect a power engram or turning in engrams at, whoever, you don't have to remember to equip all your most powerful gear. The game will automatically take into account the highest light level your character can be. It's 40 levels between soft and hard. Our target is that players who participate in all the weekly activities should take several weeks to reach the hard cap. Several weeks to reach the hard cap. Raids/trials grant the largest increases. Clan engrams provide very small increases, and the other weekly sources fall between those two. Players who don't participate in any group weekly activities are unlikely to hit the hard cap before the next release. Players who don't participate in any group weekly activities are unlikely to hit the hard cap before the next release. Wow. Dedicated omnivore players will hit it before players that just played raids or trials exclusively. Additionally, the final 10 points from 370 to 380 will be significantly slower than 340 to 370. We expect it to take players roughly equal time to go from 340 to 370 as from 370 to 380. We decided to make this change because climbing to 370 allows you to tackle endgame content without suffering a severe underlevel penalty, but creates a significant accomplishment in achieving 380. Forever 370? I think so. I think that's exactly what they're talking about here. If you're around in vanilla Destiny 1, you'll remember the meme Forever 29. It was relatively easy to level up your character to light level 25, 26, maybe 27, but you really had to grind endgame content to hit 27, 28, 29, and then you were really just based on RNG, hard RNG, to get to 30. You basically had to do the raid every week and hope for the exact drop, whether it be boots or a helmet or a chest piece that you needed. I don't think it's going to be that severe, but it's definitely going to be more severe than it is now. I mean, the fact that they don't expect casual players to hit max light level before the next release, which is in September, that's saying something. Forever 290. Helmet kept me forever 29 till late October. Yeah, I was the same way, Jimmy Mega. I needed boots, and I never got them from the Vault of Glass. I bought them from Iron Banner. Eventually, they allowed Iron Banner to sell max light level gear, and that's how I ended up hitting level 30. They say it will be significantly slower, and then say it will be roughly the same time. What do you mean, Zoltan? What do you mean by roughly the same time? So my thought is, like, the way this is written is that you'll always have challenging content if you are a casual player. If you're a real hardcore player, the content will get less challenging quicker, but you're going to have a hard grind from 370 to 380. And that will take players longer to overcome, and that will provide reasons to do the milestones, right? Milestones, trials, raids. Love to see trials become a thing again on PC. Do we even need infusion in Destiny 2? I mean, we finally have smart loot that progresses you. Infusion is more than what it looks like. It's also, besides just being a way to level up, it's also a way of leveling up the gear that you want. It was in Vanilla Destiny 1, one of the main complaints was that there's only very specific gear that would drop at high levels, right? So if you wanted to be level 30, you looked exactly the same as everybody else. You were either running Iron Banner gear or you were running Vault of Glass gear, and that's it. So Infusion allows us to customize our characters. Gear perks need to match the difficulty to acquire. Just make it hard to get doesn't make it worth trying to get. Agreed, that's baloney. I completely agree with you there. I'm a casual player. I never hit max after Taken King until Age of Triumph. I like this change. Sounds more like good D1 progression. Even for a casual player, I've seen people getting mad about this on Twitter. I've already seen it, right? As soon as it was released, people got kind of upset that, you know, I'm a casual player. I don't have all the time in the world. But what this offers is a carrot on a stick for a longer period of time. If it's easy to hit max light level, if max light level is 380 and it takes you a week to get there, that's one less carrot that they can be holding in front of your face for you to chase, right? Having a longer level up process allows us to, you know, chase that carrot for a longer period of time. And it's going to slow down at 370, 380. It's going to be frustrating, but when it happens, when you do get the drop, the highs are going to be high, right? The lows get lower, but the highs get higher. Progression was one of the reasons I stopped playing. Looks like I need to get rid of the raid rust. Nice. I mean, over time, they are making this game what we're hoping it's going to be, right? Every change they've made to this game since, I would say, February has made this game better and better and more hardcore. And eventually, right, hopefully this game does become, in September, the game that we all really hope for. I don't think this is perfect, but if you give some reward for logging in, that and at least we know what they're trying to accomplish. Yeah, it's nice to know what they're trying to accomplish, right? It's nice to know what they are actually, you know, what the end goal of the game is right now. We don't know for September. I hope that we hear some stuff from the guys who are at the summit now, that they come back and say, you know, here's what they are aiming for, that they do want to provide, you know, more end game for the hardcore players. I like this change because it doesn't really fuck with casuals, right? I mean, if a casual wants to get into the raid, you're gonna be able to get into that raid, right? You're gonna have to grind up to, let's say the minimum light level you want to be to get into the raid is 365. That means you got to hit 360 and then use mods to hit 365. That's going to be doable. It's going to take a while, but it's going to be doable. But if you want to hit 380, like, that's going to be a grind, and that's cool. It's good for both groups of players. Clan Engrams offer excellent upgrades while a player is climbing to the soft cap. They should grant awards an average of 15 power higher than your current best possible while you're on the way there. This will help players catch up with their clanmates who are completing weekly activities. Once you've achieved the soft cap, your progress is going to rely a lot more on your own achievements. Clan Engrams above the soft cap will grant only 0 to 2 points above your best possible. So they'll help you get into... This looks like it's a rubber banding system. They're going to try and get everybody up to a light level where they can play Nightfalls and raids, but if you want to if you want to progress past that, you're going to have to actually compete. You're actually going to have to put your ass on the line and actually do stuff. And that's cool. In an effort to combat exploits around creating new characters to take advantage of one-time quest rewards, we've decided to limit those rewards to the soft cap for the release they appeared in. It means a Destiny 2 launch quest cap at 260 before mods, Curse of Osiris caps at 300, and Warmind caps at 340. So one-time quest rewards will limit you to the 340 soft cap. So you're going to want to do those probably as fast as you can, right? To try and get those big light level bumps up to 340. It looks like you're going to be able to progress to 340 very fast. After 340, it's going to slow down a lot until you hit 370, and then at 370, it's going to slow way down. To compensate for their new caps, they'll give you a large boost, 15 power, when you earn them, as long as you're below that cap. Farming exotics to increase your power has been removed. If they drop from a non-weekly source, they'll come out of the engram at the same power as a legendary would after you've gotten to the soft cap. We believe the changes to quest rewards and exotic farming will ensure the most effective way to reach the power cap is to play the most challenges in social weekly activities. So it's going to be all about power engrams. And that's going to allow them to much better limit our progress. That annoys me slightly. I think they should keep the existing vanilla quest rewards at the COO level. Why is that, Mr. Goodbites? Why do you say that? Rip deleting characters to speed up the progress, right? Seriously. It sounds like an extension to the system during release, but this time around we know the caps are and exactly what they are needed to progress, right? They saw how players kind of found the cracks of their initial system, and they're kind of filling those cracks, it looks like. Really excited about this change. Won't see someone max power day one. There'll probably be more cracks. Somebody will find some more cracks, right, Mahogany? Throw a couple million people at this problem, somebody will figure it out. No more speed leveling. God forbid people actually have to play the content to progress. Also, love how clear they're being with how leveling will work. I like that too. I like the communication that Bungie has been providing us since February. I think they're doing a great job. I don't want to be limited. I'm sorry, but if I or other want to sit 12 hours a day, why should we be punished? I don't think they're going to punish you. You're still going to be able to grind. Dolphin, I'm curious. Why do you think you're being limited? I mean, you are being limited. Okay, you are being limited, but why do you think that you're being limited by the amount of time you put in? I've done none of the optional quests on PC. I don't think Midas should now drop at 260 for players like me. It should drop at what it was when the change was made. Too long didn't read. I've got 2 weeks to do all the quests. All right, that makes sense. I hear you. I think their goal, Mr. Goodbites, and I don't know that it matters. You might be right about this because I don't know that it matters if they're all at 340 cap. Like, it sounds like it's going to be relatively easy to hit the soft cap at 340. And does it matter if the Mida drops at 340 or 260? Like, if everything's dropped at 340, you're going to hit 340 fast anyway. If they stop at the cap, though, I mean, I don't know that it matters. You might be right about that, Mr. Goodbites. More grind, gimme, all right? I like to grind raids for max light, just like Destiny 1. I like in Destiny 2 that you can do a variety of things to grind for max light. I like that you can play trials, you can play regular Crucible, you can do strikes, you can do nightfalls, you can do the raid. I like having the variety of activities because I'm not in the mood to do a raid every day. 340 should be easy. We're 335 now. Yeah. Destiny 1 was the same way with certain exotics. So if you're a PvP player, no change for you? I think there is a change. I think your progress is going to be slowed down if you're a PvP player. If you only play Trials and Crucible, then it's it's going to be very difficult. It's going to take you a very long time to hit max light level. I also think that exotics should still be able to drop higher. Maybe not as high as they were before, but still slightly higher than legendaries would drop at. Maybe the first exotic engram of the week could drop higher, and subsequent engrams cap. I think what they're trying to do, though, Mr. Goodbites, is trying to get rid of ways that players can speed up the progression more than Bungie wants. They want us to be able to grind light level for longer than we do. So it's part of the actual... So that it lends more replayability longer term than it currently does. Looking forward to finally having a long grind. It's been kind of dumb having everyone at max light just sitting back and collecting clan engrams. I'm really curious to see what PvP rewards are for ranked will be. I'm curious too. I would very much like to see some really good rewards. My suspicion is that the PvP rewards for ranked are going to be emblems with your rank on it. I honestly do. I hope it's better than that. Didn't know you were streaming today. Always a welcome stream nonetheless. While we're here, welcome to stream, man. Thanks for hanging out. When Destiny 2 released, streamers hit 300 light in a week. Yeah. It was really fast. Keep in mind that they are calculating your best power level even if you get loot that you can't or don't want to use. True enough. True enough. All right. Thanks for hanging in there through this long explanation. Please let us know any feedback you have about this new way forward for Destiny 2 rewards. We're going to carefully monitor feedback from this post and our early data after Warmind launches to guide any changes we might make to this in the future. If you love it, let us know. If you hate it, let us know that too. This sounds more like the RPG, right? You still don't get the customization that we wanted, or that I was hoping for. I'll be honest with you. When we were going into the lead up of Destiny 2, one of my hopes and dreams for Destiny 2 was that it'd feel more like an RPG where you could really, as you were leveling up, you'd have more choices to how you customize your character. I don't really feel like that was the reality of Destiny 2. I'm still hoping for that in September or in Destiny 3. But I mean, it's a step forward to that way. Give us the old subclass trees. I'd rather have it the old way. I liked it better the old way. I hope they keep adding more RPG elements. We all want them. Yeah, I really do. I would love to get more of an RPG feeling out of Destiny. And I feel like Destiny 2 has less of an RPG feeling than Destiny 1 did. Less. It's a hell of a lot better than what we got now. That's for damn sure. High altitude. The guy who used to write these weekly blog addresses, those are his words, we apparently hates the term TWAB, wants to hog the mic for just a minute to share some final thoughts on the community summit that's happening tomorrow and Friday at Bungie. Deej. Thursday and Friday, we'll be honored and humbled to host a small but insightful sampling of the community here in our studio. They'll be here to give us their opinions on our goals and our plans. Some of them you know, some of them we know. Yo, Real Good Murph, thank you for 2 months in a row, man. Thanks for everything you do, Briar. Thank you, Real Good Murph. I really appreciate that, man. Some of them we know. We want you to know that this is not the only way we're gathering feedback about Destiny 2, and these are not the only people we're listening to about the game. This summit will be about collaboration. Our best conversations will be about the future. This isn't a marketing event. There will be no reveals this week. We're not streaming while they're here. They won't have a wealth of news to report once our time together is over. They'll be welcome to report on the mood from the gathering and to tell you what they told us. We'd ask you not to press them for promises on what the state of Destiny 2 will be in the months to come. That work will still fall on us, and there's still plenty of time for those things to find their final form. Next week, if they want to, they'll share some of their own content from the next expansion. For this week, we wanted to give them a seat at our table. This is interesting. This is Deej setting expectations, and I think that's important. I feel like the power progression will let me play the game more than before. Yeah, I think it's going to give you a longer tail of things to look forward in the game. All right. So Deej says they won't have a wealth of news to report once our time together is over. They'll be welcome to report on the mood from the gathering and to tell you what they told us. They won't be able to say what we told them. Right? Is like that's going to be under NDA. So when people come back from this summit, what they are going to, Deej being an adult, right? What they are going to allow is people to say, here's what we shared. Here was the mood. Here's how the event went. Maybe they could talk about things they did. Maybe, they had a really great conversation with Newski. Maybe they had a really great conversation with Cosmo. They could talk about stuff like that from the sound of it. But they won't be able to say, check out my biddies. Thank you for the 500 biddies. I really appreciate that, Marty. I really do. What they won't be able to say is we saw the new weapon the new weapon system, and this is what it was. They won't be able to say that. Those tiny print NDAs always get us. All right. Thank you so much, man. I literally have 0 people in my playlist playing Destiny 2 anymore, and most of them either won't be back or will play DLC 2 for a few weeks, then leave. This lengthening of the grind does not help at retaining them at all. Loot's still boring, so it's all just artificial. I would disagree with you. I mean, I can't speak for your friends or whether or not they'll enjoy, the DLC 2. But saying this lengthening of the grind does not help at retaining them at all. Loot is boring, so it's just artificial. First of all, we haven't seen any of the loot. Second of all, it's another grind. It's another way to interact with Destiny. It's another thing to look forward to every time you log into Destiny is leveling up a little bit. And to extend that grind, I think, is very fun. I would also say, if you're looking for people to play with, if the people that you've played with are not here anymore, there are plenty of active clans still out there. Take a look at the 100.io, a really great website for finding people to play with. It's more than just an LFG. It kind of sets you up with 100 people who do enjoy playing Destiny and, are looking for other people to play with. You know what makes Day 2 great on console? Field of view slider. I don't know you're going to ever see that, brown guy. Not till we get a PlayStation 5 or a Xbox, next Xbox. I don't know that you're going to see that. All right. So that was it. Helpful Hands, whether it's plants, animals, or other oddly named error codes, Destiny Player Support has the information you need to diagnose any issues you come across in the wild. This is a report. Iron Banner updated. This week's marks the first arrival of 6v6 Iron Banner and is the first Iron Banner update 1.1.4. Listed below are the changes. So we got 6v6. Time limit 12 minutes. You guys been hitting that time limit? I don't think I've hit a time limit once. Score limit is 125. Respawn time is 7 seconds. Control zones start off neutral. Additional Guardians, max of 3 in a zone, increased capture speed. Emperor's Respite has been 86th. Power ammo, recurring side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 45 seconds. Initial side crate respawn times reduced from 90 seconds to 30 seconds. I like just about everything they've added here. I love 6v6. I'm having a blast with it. The score limit feels about right to me. Respawn time feels good. They might have to slow that down to fix spawns a little bit because I still do see some odd spawns. Control zones start off as neutral. I think that's fun. I like that you now have to capture your initial zone, and you got to make decisions now. Do we just send everybody at B and have one guy capture A? Do we have 3 guys capture A, send everybody to B? Do we send everybody to C? There's more options. I feel like there's more strategy involved in it because of that. And I like that, you've got, not only do they start off as neutral, but you also have additional Guardians increase the capture speed. I think that's smart too. I hated Emperor's Respite. Am I the only one in the area having at least cross save? Am I the only one in the area of having at least cross save? Cross save should be a thing. Cross save should definitely be a thing. I feel like they would sell more copies of Destiny if they had cross save, honestly. And I don't know what's holding them back because all the information is stored on Bungie servers. So, like, what's holding them back? You like 6v6 for a banner? I dig it, but as a solo player, I see lots of matches that are lopsided, either win or loss. Yeah, I see a lot of lopsided matches too, but I love 6v6. I haven't had a problem with solo play. Actually, I think that, and I don't have, all I've got is anecdotal stories about this, so I have no proof. But I feel that I've been getting matched up against tougher teams when I'm in a fire team than when I'm doing solo. Cross save would save me a lot of pain and sorrow. Oh my god, I would love cross save. PS4 exclusives, I would guess. I don't know, man. Like, how hard would it be to solve that problem? I don't think it'd be that hard. Spaghetti code. Spaghetti code. Additionally, all Season 2 Iron Banner's weapons will be available from Lord Saladin through either reward packages or direct purchase using Iron Banner tokens. For more information regarding Iron Banner, players should visit our Iron Banner guide. Still investigating an increase in reports of cabbage, coconut, currant, lettuce, and rabbit error codes. Implemented a fix that should resolve most instances of zebra. Weren't we running into that a lot yesterday, zebra? Put the bunny back in the box. What? Get them while they're hot. We get fresh new movies for you to consume. So this is the movies of the week. Nightfall top scores. Damn, those are high scores. You just read over 24 hours, 2,400 words worth of knowledge. How you feeling? We have more lined up for you next week during the stream. Join us April 4th at 10 a.m. PDT on Twitch to see Warmind in Season 3. In the meantime, I'll be playing some Iron Banner 6v6, finishing up some ornaments. I'll see you out there. I gotta say, I like this TWAB, man. I like this TWAB. You're DDoSing so many players, you got your own error code? Solid. Solid. If you can't win, cheat. That's what I always say. Just cheat, man. If you can't win, just cheat. Do you think crossplay between PC, PS4, and PC and Xbox is a thing we'll see in the future? I mean, for PvE, I don't know if we'll ever see it, right? I have no insight into that. I know that Sony is a real bitch to deal with on crossplay. They don't want to do it, but they've allowed Fortnite to do it with PC. What they really don't want is PS4 and Xbox. I would love to see it, to be honest with you. I don't know if Bungie's going to do it. I don't know if PS4 is going to allow it, but good Lord, I'd love to see it. And if they don't want to do it for Crucible, I completely understand. That makes a lot of sense to me, at least until the next generation of consoles come out and they can hit 60 frames per second. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. But for PvE, come on, that'd be amazing. Why segregate people by the system they choose to play a game on? They all chose to play the game. Crossplay equals get out the Zim Apexes. Yo, there's players on PC that are fucking awesome with controllers. They did an amazing job allowing people, or like getting the game into such a state that you could be very competitive at a high level with a controller on PC, and you could be very competitive with a mouse and keyboard. I don't feel like you're at an advantage or disadvantage depending on what your input method of choice is on PC. So that problem I feel like Bungie has all but solved. The real problem with crossplay, at least on PvP, is that you've got a smaller field of view and 30 frames per second, which I think is a significant disadvantage to console players. But if maybe the PS5 or Destiny 3 came out at 60 frames per second, fuck it, man. Let them have it. Let's all play together. This game is about community. Who cares what system you bought? I don't give a shit. I don't care if you have an Xbox One X. a PS4, a PS4 Pro, a PC. Who cares? Cross-play. It'd be amazing. It works on Fortnite. Why couldn't it work in Destiny? Win-win. Exactly. It's a win-win situation. Cross-save, absolutely. Cross-play, make it happen. Make it happen for Destiny 3. You know, I fully expect to start hearing real rumors about the next generation of consoles. Like this year and next year, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw one of the new consoles come out in 2019. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, with the rumors that we're hearing about the PS5 right now, it would not surprise me at all. Does Fortnite have dedicated servers? Yes. Yes. Business won't let it happen. Don't think otherwise. Switch, Gary would be so happy. Dude, if they had crossplay, if they had cross save and the game came out on the Switch, I'd play on the Switch for fucking sure. If it was, imagine Destiny 3 comes out, the PlayStation 5 is out, the Xbox Next is out. You could buy the game on the Switch and it'd be 30 frames per second. You could buy the game on PS5, it'd be 60 frames per second, and you'd have the same thing you have now on PC. I would buy all 3 copies of the game, like without a doubt. I would definitely play the PC version. I'd play the PS4 version, and I would play the Switch version when I'm, maybe I'm sitting in the backyard in the sun, hanging out with my Switch on the deck. Like, that's awesome. Cross save would be dope. Cross play would be also cool. I can't take a shit and play Destiny. I can take a shit and play Destiny. Hell yeah. Give me Switch Destiny 2. I was surprised they didn't target 60 frames per second for Destiny 2. I was really surprised. If they had, I would say make crossplay a thing in PvP and PvE. Switch has no party chat, sadly. Can't you do in-game chat, though? I don't see any reason you couldn't do in-game chat. Bungie has in-game chat on the Xbox and the PS4 version, right? How big a role do you think Vicarious Visions had in the Warmind DLC? I think they probably designed it. They probably took instruction from Bungie, and with the oversight of Bungie, they probably designed it. I'd legit get a Switch if I could play Destiny 2 with my current progression. Yeah, I would not start a new character on the Switch. I wouldn't buy it if it didn't have cross save, though. Mohegan, thank you for 15 months, man. Welcome back to the rabbit hole. I really appreciate that, Mohegan. Switch Destiny 2 would only sell me if it was 60 FPS. I'd rather have 720p at 60. I'd rather have that on PS4, to be honest. No game chat on Switch. That's when you use Discord on your phone, right? Switch Destiny 2, you could no longer need a toilet keyboard mount. Just need like a little stand, Just need a little table. 10 out of 10 sub sound. Hello, Brian chat. Love you, bro. No homo. What's up, Ramos? How you doing? They need to fix PC segregation. Those different servers make the population issues so much worse. I mean, I would like to see cross-play in Destiny 2. I would like to be able to join up with friends on the Xbox, friends on the PS4, friends on PC, and we could all raid together. When we were done raiding, we could all jump into the Crucible and play some Iron Banner together. I would fucking love that. At the very least, let me have cross-save. Yo, Marty, thank you so much for Twitch Prime sub, man. I really appreciate that. Welcome to the rabbit hole, man. At the very least, there should be cross-save so that I don't have to... If I get a friend on Xbox, I don't have to level up my character just to play. I don't have to redo all that grind just to play with my friends on Xbox. It makes me not want to play on Xbox. And that means I'm not going to buy the game on Xbox. That's less copies sold for Bungie. It absolutely makes all the sense in the world to have crossplay. It sells more copies of the game. No one loves us Xbox guys? I don't know, man. That Xbox Scorpio, or the One S, X, sorry. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Sock Animals, thank you for the 500 bits, man. Bits for crossplay. Crossplay would be amazing. And I hear people, I completely understand that in PvP, console players would feel like they'd be at a significant disadvantage. But I will say this. I play against players on PC who are using a controller, and I do not feel like they're at a disadvantage. Just listen to Revolver, Rowdy T-Bag. Thank you so much, man. Borderlands 3 might love you Xbox guys. Is that going to be Xbox exclusive? Or are they going to have like a co-marketing deal? I just got my 1X and holy fudge nuggets. Yo, I saw some footage of Red Dead Redemption playing on that 1X. Oh my God. Who would have thought that game could look that good? Destiny 2 looks insane on the 1X. Dude, Destiny 2 at 4K looks awesome. It looks amazing. But I'll tell you this. I have a PC. I play at 1080p because the higher frame rate is amazing. It's a rumor Gearbox is announcing on Microsoft stage. So there'd be some kind of co-marketing deal. Do you think they wouldn't make it an exclusive? They could make it a timed exclusive, but I mean, that'd be a big get. That'd be a big get for Xbox. They need to change the requirements for Colony, make it like truth tracking where you at least have to ADS on target for a second or two so it tracks. The Colony pisses me off in PvP. The fact that you can get a kill without ever seeing the Guardian you're killing, I don't like it. Marketing for Borderlands 3 is Xbox exclusive. Marketing for Borderlands 3 is Xbox exclusive. Fig, is that a rumor? Because I haven't seen any marketing for Xbox for Borderlands 3. I haven't barely even heard the name. The thing with Fortnite doing crossplay with mobile PC people, don't play PvP crossplay to get sick ass wins. They play it to play with friends. So 60 to 30 FPS isn't a big deal, so let's just have fun. I just want to have fun, Mahogany. I just want to have fun, man. I want to have fun with my friends. I don't give a shit if they're on the PS4. I don't give a shit if they're on Xbox. I don't give a shit if they're on PC. I don't give a shit if they're on Switch. Let's just have fun. Let's play together. The friend game. Let's get into that friend game. You just need to get good, Scrub. Gosh said the stream a while back, play Borderlands 3 on Xbox thing, but it will be available on all. Best on Xbox, maybe. Maybe it's like 4K on Xbox One X. Witcher 3 is 1080-60 on the X and still prefer 4K 30. Each their own. To each their own. Absolutely, Sweat. Gary Diaz have a conversation, and I have had a conversation about that too. He doesn't care. In a third-person game, he absolutely doesn't care if it's 30 FPS. For me, like I have my PC right in front of me. I have a 1080p 240 hertz monitor and a 4K 60 monitor. I rarely ever game on that 4K monitor. I bought it for gaming. I play PlayStation 4 games on it because, I can do 4K 30 or I can do 1080p 30. I'd rather do 4K 30. But on PC, I'm gonna take the resolution hit and the frame rate bump every time. Hey, Taserface. CD Projekt Red CEO said that Cyberpunk 2077 is already prepared for next-gen consoles. So they seem to know something already. Well, they're probably... A lot of companies develop for PC, right? And then once they're closer to the end of the development, they start to port it over to whatever consoles are most relevant. That's not surprising at all. Their roots are in the PC world. I match with someone on PS4 who has the exclusive. I see how cool it is. I may buy a PS4 and another copy of Destiny. Wouldn't want to start over, though. That's another good point, V-Tank. What if the PS4 exclusives You can still use them. What if? I've tried to play with my friends on Fortnite while they are on PC and I was on mobile, and by God, you can tell a difference between the two. Especially when I was last one alive and they were watching me try to build and kill people on mobile, and they were fucking dying from laughing so hard. Watching me fail was a blast. That's actually kind of funny. That'd make a good video. I mean, it makes sense, right? The fact that they're able to get Fortnite running on a phone, I think, is actually really impressive. And the fact that it's been received as well as it has, again, very impressive. But if you think that you're going to be able to have as much control as a person with a controller or a keyboard and mouse, no way. I mean, you're using like a touch screen and your thumbs cover up half the screen. OMG Colton, hello. How you doing? The last video with you and Gary Diaz was 15 out of 10. Yo, Echo, thank you so much about the design goals. Yeah, that was a. I'm not going to lie to you. That was a tough one. That was a tough one for me, Echo. For the consumer, but not for their bottom line, which is why I understand Sony's perspective, although I don't agree with it.